Topic focuses on the impacts that coral bleaching has on the Great Barrier Reef. The iconic attraction captivates millions of tourists each year because of its magnificent biodiverse ecosystem that is home to over 1,500 different types of fish species, coral and endangered animals. The coral reefs generate approximately $5.2 billion in tourism per year and employ over 64,000 people for recreational and social businesses. The reefs provide the coastlines with protection from flooding, storm surges and erosion. Medicines that help treat diseases such as heart disease and cancer are developed from the compounds that are found in coral tissue. Without a healthy reef, tourism, health and the economy will deteriorate and the marine life will be at risk of extinction. Zooxanthellae is an algae that lives within the coral tissue, which provides the ecosystem with food so it can thrive and reproduce. This algae is crucial to the survival of the ecosystem as many organisms rely on coral for diet and habitat. With an increase of seawater temperatures, solar irradiance and pollution, this algae stresses and expels from the coral tissue, causing pigmentation loss, starvation and bleaching. The socio-economic and ecological factors are both at threat. The threats to the marine life are substantial as many marine species, like the butterfly fish and parrotfish, rely solely on coral for their diet. Larger animals such as the bottlenose dolphin, the green sea turtle and whale sharks are also at threat. These animals feed on reef fish that rely on coral for food. Essential nutrients and nitrogen found in coral make up the food chain for these animals. So, if the food chain is compromised, then the survival of the ecosystem is bleak. I have learned that over the last decade, over 70% of the Great Barrier Reef has been impacted by coral bleaching and continued heat stress is threatening future coral health. In 2016, 2017 and 2020, coral bleaching was at its worst. In fact, the 2016 bleaching episode resulted in 91.1% of reefs severely impacted. Between 2014 and 2017, the northern region from Cape York to Lizard Island experienced 22% of complete coral decline. Coral bleaching in 2020 was not as bad as 2016, however, it was worse than the bleaching events in 2017, with 25% severely bleached. The Australian Government and the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority have collaborated to protect and sustain the marine life by implementing effective management and protection programs which outline procedures that monitor bleaching. The Reef 2050 plan was developed to update management strategies such as zoning permits and recreational policies. A reef trust was released combining both government and private funds to improve coastal habitats and water quality. High priority areas are analysed in the Outlook report, which examines satellite images of environmental pressures such as high sea temperatures. 10 initiatives in the Blueprint for Resilience educates the community about ecosystem protection. An example is the Eye on the Reef app, which was developed so the public could report bleaching activity. How can we help? Simple. Use sustainable farming practices, use clean energy sources, and practice proper fishing management. Greenhouse gas pollution caused by coal burning can heat our oceans. So, shifting toward a more renewable energy source such as wind and solar would help prevent future bleaching episodes. Keep the waterways clean from harmful chemicals and fertilizer runoffs that pollute the ocean that protects the coral. Let's preserve the reef to allow future generations to reap its benefits.